Here for Poker Night in America, the cash game, $25.50. Those are the stakes. Many thousands of dollars at the table. Our big stack, right around 40K. Our short stack, still around 10K. Right before the break, we saw Phil Laak get felted by Sam Ganzfried. Ganzfried, I should say.
Where did the money come from, the 2000?
As always, I'd like to keep the show as interactive as possible. Best way to do that is in the Twitch chat over at twitch.tv/PokerNightTV. I can see Kapalua, Hippopotamus, Boris, one hand sample size, Hit the Ground, Mintio, Ben Cost, T-Dog, Chester, all in there, among many others. Join us. Take a look at the chips here. Jennifer Harman with 9,300. Phil Laak has not officially rebought, but we assume he is. And he has rebought for 10,000. So now 8,500. I mean, we're looking at a table with about $130,000 on it, with spread among 7 players. We are playing 7-handed poker.
When he does guess, they're not usually off there, right? They're just...
If you want to tweet me, you can at Tuchman Sports.
Sometimes they do it remotely, but usually it's right.
I don't know.
Yep.
And this will get shown on like real TV at some point, right?
I'm not sure. He thinks we broke.
They show this on real TV at some point on like 4 a.m. on something.
No, it's like prime time on CBS Sports Network.
Oh,
night, yeah.
Cool.
But the reruns are all at late at night all the time.
Do you know when the Pittsburgh actually aired? Like last year's Pittsburgh?
No idea.
They just hit YouTube. I never watched the show. I just came on YouTube. They just hit YouTube now. I was hoping Greg came back. That was the one who busted me that 20K. I doubled him up at 20K.
Mueller?
Yeah. This is like the second hand.
He's funny.
Stacked off with a pair of 8s. Club was like 258. He put in like.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I just checked. I didn't know if he was bullshitting me or not. He's super sharp, so I had to check that I didn't.
Quad threes, I'm sorry. It is quad threes with a what?
If I think my opponent's not keeping track of flips, I'll definitely try and let him think that we're even if that's like a standard move. So I thought I could get, it could be a standard move, but it wasn't. It was just the truth unfolding. And me being a paranoid New Yorker gambler, suspicious of every angle.
Can you hear me? I just plugged myself in again. Can they hear me? Yeah. Awesome.
Ready to go?
Oh.
Everybody's ready.
Phil, do you want some change?
Sure, I'll take 5.
All right. 2, 4.
Get right back into the action. $25.50 the blinds. Once again, the button in front of David Eldridge.
Double count that, thanks.
Thank you.
Local high stakes player. Straddled pot, so $25.50, 100. Black chips are 100. Orange chips you see are 1K. And the blue chips, if you see any of those, which you will, those are $25 each.
More that way? Okay.
Jennifer Harman looks like she's eating some sort of nacho type thing.
They can, yeah.
Jennifer Harman, of course, one of our most recent inductees into the Poker Hall of Fame, so congratulations to her. The pre-flop wars continue. That's kind of the theme of today so far. There have been Poker Night in America cash games we've covered where most of the play was post-flop. But here, a lot of it has been pre-flop. 3 deuce of diamonds versus ace 10 of diamonds. 3 deuce outflops Tilly.
Cletus one.
No money going in post flop so far.
From my experience, the qualifier always destroys the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's really
And Eldridge's pair of threes are going to win.
Cletus one.
Yeah, so I'll just play, I'll complete the orbit that I'm in and let him come in.
No, you don't have to because he's not supposed to come
You
until the
hit
break.
your
So it's
three.
all
What
up to you.
the
So whatever you want.
flush come?
So there's an earlier.
For the flush.
Because we go on break at like 4:30 when we come back. That's when he's supposed to start. But if Phil decides he wants to play the tournament early, then we could get him in earlier.
I'll be very accommodating.
It's totally up to you.
Okay.
You did us a favor.
Once again, David Tuchman back here at Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh.
This one.
Poker Night in America, the cash game. Go around the table really quick. We got Sam Ganzfried,
What? Mr.
a
Phil.
Carnegie Mellon
He's playing him all day tomorrow.
grad
Are
student.
you playing?
Helped develop
Money
Claudico,
I'll play
which is
tomorrow.
a no-limit hold'em, heads-up no-limit hold'em specialist computer
This could be my last
bot, so to speak, that played in the AI vs. Brains challenge. He was integral in that. Jennifer Tilley, David Eldridge, Matt Glantz, Phil Laak, Jennifer Harman, and the original David Baker, ODB.
Yeah, I'm trading out this one for these.
Sure.
Have to steal all the fun.
It's been a tough day for Baker so far. He's made some moves, tried to do some interesting 4-bets and 5-bets. They did not work. He's been on the short end of the stick most of the day. And here, it'll be really interesting to see how this one turns out. Queens versus Ace-King. Glantz moved all in. Baker hates it.
All in. No snap call. Yes.
Yeah, when they
I
start
was gonna fold, and then you then the whole
All right, I'm going to do a board
the whole way you were looking at it.
5 no limit game.
So a raise, a 3-bet, a 4-bet, and now a 5-bet shove.
Baby Dan. No.
don't think you have that much action here.
1025.
Back over to Baker.
Yes, thank you. Dick D.
Now Glantz is all in, but you can see that he has a lot more chips than Baker. So the all in is actually for less.
Yes.
It's only for what Baker has in front of him, which is,
Roman.
I want to say approximately $9,000, maybe a little bit less.
Brian, yes. Gary B, are you here yet? There's a caller, Gary B for 1025. No. Tony G, 1025.
Yeah, we are on a 30-minute delay, guys,
On table number 4.
for obvious reasons.
That is where the cash game satellite was just held. If you guys want to make your way over,
I don't think
call
they're
your name.
active.
That is for a second 1025 no limit game.
I'm the worst.
All right, guys, that game's to go on table 4. Go ahead and make your way over.
Glantz really has not gotten out of line. And even though you might think he's a little bit lighter than normal because you've been bluffing a lot, it's hard to imagine that this 5-bet
have the best hand.
It's hard to imagine that you're ever ahead. Maybe he's got jacks, maybe he's got queens, maybe he's got the same hand as you. And while you do have a blocker to aces and kings, still possible that he could have aces and kings as well.
Who won, the young guy or the old guy? The young guy.
Yeah, he's got a little bit over 9,000 in front of him, so we'll say it's like 9,500.
6,000 and then we'll go.
You got to call 9,500 to win
I don't know if that's good for him.
about 12. And people saying the best they could hope for right now is behind. I tend to agree. I don't think Glantz is making this move with ace queen,
Once again, 10-25.
ace jack. I don't think he's bluffing ever. I don't want to say ever, but
Stage area where the cascade satellite was just held.
Sorry. I don't know. I hate taking time.
It's okay.
David, can I have 5 orange checkers, please? All orange? Yes, please.
it can be tempting though. You know, you're stuck. You figure, okay, let's flip. Let me see if I can get let's see if I can get unstuck with just one flip of the coin.
More awkward than 0 or many. You know, when you have just one of one chip, it's kind of
4,400, 4,700, 5,000 in there.
If he was Sean Deeb, I'd still have to worry about him having aces, but I could cross that off the list right now. But Sean, I still couldn't cross it off the list.
right.
With Sean?
Cake 420 says I wouldn't call, but I'm hoping he does. Ben Cost says blaze the 9,000. Cali icon fold. It's not even a pair.
What happened to Deep? Where did he
Just
go?
got 6.
He got 6.
Z-Far Destiny. You have ace king. Come on. You only play pocket quads? Go all in.
Wow. So is he not playing then at
I
all
don't think you do.
today?
Jack's just hoping he does something anytime soon.
Deep is not playing.
He's not. Yeah, he's got sick. He didn't want to get anybody else sick.
Okay, we don't want to get sick.
Kings, queens, or ace king, right? One of those three.
Now, Todd had mentioned they're not running it more than once today. And I don't know if that's a casino thing.
Ace king.
Phil's going to give him some advice, though. Let's hear him.
Can I think now?
Now he's allowed to think of different. Because now you're basically diving into the web of all humanity that's seen this. Now you.
And you got me with the facial shit before you went all in. I really didn't think you. I really didn't think you liked your situation, which makes me really think you have ace king. But do I want to risk it all for just to get my 2,000 back? That's the question.
It's the best. That's why he wins all the money. You know, even though he's down.
And he has ace king, right? For sure.
Fishing bottom. It'll pop back up.
You want me to check?
Yeah. Well, can I wait 30 minutes and then see what the feed is?
Wait a couple more.
Wow.
That was a flip.
Wow.
Five.
Queen, right? You got ace queen?
Fives?
What did you have? Quads?
Ace queen.
Queens. I would have been
Classic race.
Raise.
No, I wasn't acting
You
at
don't
all.
want to
I wasn't acting at all. It legitimately was where you're going to snap.
Ooh.
Ace ace 5 flop?
They say stop with a king.
Oh my god.
King on the river.
I wasn't acting at all. When I
it ace
I know.
five?
That's what I thought.
I was like, you have too much to go over.
That's what I really thought. And so I was like, it feels like queens or ace king, but then like, is there a reverse?
Wow, you got one wrong. Every couple of years he'll do something wrong, right? Is that what?
Is that wrong to fold to not want to put 10,000 in as a 43%? Even though I'm
I
getting
don't know.
a overlay?
But let's not say wrong then. Let's just say where he had a chance. You know, when he has a chance, he's in there all the time.
I'll take the ace king.
I think in that spot is right, because I think that's the worst hand I had.
I know, that's what I thought. I thought you queens,
It was like
kings, or
10
ace
to like
king.
15 or whatever it was.
You're right.
That's what I said, kings, queens, or ace kings.
So it's definitely a fold against those hands.
Wow, David, not bad. Just stay out of the way. That's what you do, huh? It's not a bad plan. I've been saying
No, but I was
either way.
genuinely looking like that because I really didn't want to get
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I know. I really did not feel like you were bullshitting me, and that's why I wanted. That's what I was gonna fold. And
It's
then,
tough. Well, we shouldn't have peeled out the
live
future.
read.
It would be unknown by the world, but now the world knows it. It's no good. Okay.
Test is afloat. Check. We don't have anything. Can't win and drawing dead.
I have a lot of respect for David Baker's game. He plays all the games, and he plays them all really well. He's had a lot of success, cash games, tournaments. Unfortunately, today has not been his day. Get a deal of change?
Well, once I grab for the deck, don't worry. Phil's right there with me. He loves to do that stuff too.
Well, yeah, I wanted to see what would
Pull the
happen.
turn in the river, though, right?
Oh, we did. King 7. It was ace,
Just a
ace,
surprise.
king 7. I wanted to get king.
We are in the Rivers Poker Room here at the Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh.
I didn't want to think anything. I just wanted to know the
made it
future.
aces full of
I
kings.
wasn't trying to hurt anyone or cause any kind
Me
of ripple.
neither.
I just wanted to know.
Me too.
And we were the only two pretty much that were going to have a shot at it. It was going to pass and would never, you know.
Right. Curiosity, you know?
But I agree with you. I'd pull test.
I don't know. If I ran one of these poker shows, the dealers would be instructed, even if it would cost extra production time. Here's the rabbit king. We're going to see the truth on every hand. We're going to know.
I agree.
So we're not allowed to run it twice in Pittsburgh because that's a casino.
Eldridge now up to 42,000. Ganzfried at 30,000. I think Ganzfried bought in for 5. Am I right?
Nobody at home.
Or was it 6?
Twice. They don't
They've been running
understand.
it twice.
Bought in for. He bought in for 7,000.
Padres with a queen.
He bought in for.
You'll like the board star
He bought in for 5. So Ganzfried, the guy we're looking at right now at the glasses, bought in for 5,000. He is up 25K today.
I see.
You heard I is Jack Wolf.
Graduate assistants don't make much money.
I'm a big blind, but then I keep straddling.
I don't think. I mean, I've never been a graduate assistant.
Really?
Nobody in their right mind would hire me to be a graduate assistant. But I mean, that sounds like a lot of money for a graduate assistant.
Really?
Good job by him.
No, I really think I can't get called.
Glantz is going to raise to 300 with the 7s. Once again, a straddled pot.
No, obviously.
All right, 10:25 players. This is your final call for that game on table number 4. Billy P. Guy. Nick D. Shane Rose.
Yeah, do you remember your TV debut? This is my first time on TV. I'm a little excited. Yeah.
Laak 3 bets. Glantz calls.
Minimal chips, crab on top, connect energy.
Pretty good flop for a 3-better's range. You expect us to go check, bet, fold, but we'll see. Might not be that simple. $18.50 back over to Glantz.
Coming on 2 and 15.
Give you a tell.
Table 9.
Actually, $13.50. Regardless, Glantz lets it go. And Laak takes that one down.
The orange out there, make it like, it's either a reverse pull or minus
Just
10.
take the table a little bit.
Baker would be able to
That's
sit
a
out.
lot, yeah.
Baker could pull the sitter if he knew.
I'm so tilted now that you made the right play and you just tortured him.
No, it's just my read was queens or ace king. I felt like you really didn't like it, your spot, and that spot.
He didn't.
You know, my next question was what did graduate assistants do? Zfar Destiny says graduate assistant basically does all the work for the professors while the professors drink coffee all
I
day.
didn't even know he was in the hand. I was asking you.
Is that true?
It's like, well, when is he coming
Current
back?
high is
They both had real
I'm not a big coffee drinker. I don't think I'd be a good professor.
average hands colliding. This was
I was
like,
like, well, this really long hand is going on. I'll have a conversation with Glantz.
550.
550.
I got the one. I have a chance to play a pot with the one guy I can beat.
the only good news is if I lose my stack to you, you have a shot of playing a hand with my girl and she might get it back.
I folded. I folded.
No, I mean in a future hand. That's what's
right.
been happening. I lose to him and then you beat him. And then, I don't know.
That's the
550.
downfall.
That happens sometimes.
This is a slush hand. I shouldn't be in here. You're dangerous. You're esteemed. You're aggressive. You're strong. You know everything. You have the dealer button. Check. You don't have to bet. You can just check. We can look at the next card.
Same bet, 550.
I will see the next card, Sir Baker. Check.
Laak's going to give enough rope to hang himself. Baker took one shot at it. Bad run out here for Laak to get paid. Baker instamucks.
3.25. How about 75?
Can't beat it.
So I was mentioning to Todd. He had mentioned paintball. this poker night crew, they always do some.
I tried yours.
They do every trip. They always do something. Whether it be, I know last time they were in Pittsburgh, they were on the ice, which being a hockey player, I would have loved that. I was all over that. That would have been a lot of fun. So maybe next year. Who knows?
I'll see you in 30 minutes.
Down in Florida, we went deep sea fishing.
We'll see you in 30 minutes.
I can't forget
Nolan Dalla
that part.
would not let us harm a
I don't
fish.
really care because I didn't have
The most pathetic display of manship I've ever met. Being a man I've ever seen in my
When
life.
you don't, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Love me some Nolan, but I don't know what that was all
I
about.
had something. I had to read it.
And apparently, we're kicking a field goal on Sunday. I'm still kind of putting it out there. What's the over/under on how far a field goal I can kick? Over/under 27 yards. That was Todd Anderson kind of put that number out there. What do you guys think? Can I kick a 27-yard field goal?
Maybe a 9 and a 9.
How many tries do I get?
On last time I had a 4.
I'd like a few practice attempts.
All right.
But he mentioned paintball. I went and did paintball. A couple of buddies of mine invited us out to go do paintball. Queen 7-7, 2 diamonds out there. Eldridge with the nut flush draw.
You have a little hand like that, you win 2.
Should be able to figure out a way to win this one against 3s, deuces, and ace-5.
I'm showing I have a directional
Checks through.
thing. I said, like, and now I'm thinking in 20 minutes I might get unstuck.
But when I went to do paintball, I was actually legitimately,
For tomorrow, this is a Saturday.
I wouldn't say scared, but I was concerned. Like, I figured there would be a bunch of like 15 to 16-year-old kids who would just completely own me
Is this the thing
and destroy
for the poker night?
my way of life. And I just figured, I was like, okay, I'm way over my head.
He got you, huh?
I was way better than I thought I would be, and I had more fun than I've had in years.
Wow. But you both had so few.
I could do paintball once a month. It was that much fun.
All right, good luck, whatever.
There's a great spot in LA that I went to. So much fun.
I'm going to play it.
So this check through, Eldridge bets the turn. Glantz is going to raise. He seizes upon that weakness, and he's going to take it down.
Go try my luck in the tournament.
But
For all intents and purposes, you'd expect Eldridge to figure out a way to win that hand, but
Think about how this.
out of position, couldn't do it. And Glantz takes it down. Nice play by him. But yeah, if you have never gone paintballing,
play like today, and then maybe
it is so much fun.
play at the end of the day, like.
No, I've already decided what I'm going to do is put this game short in the next while, and I'm going to play the tournament today.
Okay.
So, that's just what I'm doing.
You're a trooper.
Eddie Koffler says, whatever happened to Tom Dwan? He would be great for that game. Don't hear his name anymore.
It's like a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, last I heard, Tom Dwan was in Macau, but I don't know. I don't keep track of the guy.
Getting unstuck.
He looked around at the table. He's like,
Right.
"Oh yeah, you know what?
I make it nice.
Last I heard, he was playing cash games in Macau.
You guys need someone. I'll volunteer." That's what happened.
Yeah, here, take my straddle too. Here, sweet.
Neo Zeppelin says, paintball night in America. I'm all for it. Who wouldn't want to watch Phil Hellmuth get shot in the head with some paint?
Oh wow, this is it. See, I lost that.
We could even replace the guns on the team opposite Phil Hellmuth. We could replace paint with like rubber pellets,
Correct.
so it just hurts a little bit.
But like yeah.
I think for poker night the tour, I would challenge me and Maria Ho on one team, and Jason Somerville and Phil Hellmuth on the other. I like our odds.
All right, 10-20.
Tilly with ace queen. She's going to take that one down.
Your way to table number 4. That is in the stage there.
Ben Cost says fish have feelings too, man.
Right now, bakes.
Yeah, Nolan, I tell you,
Make it like
he
You want to go to 5-10?
I just know.
he said he didn't like fishing, and I didn't realize how much. We caught a fish, and he went into the cooler and took the fish out and threw it back in the water, thinking he was saving its life. We then informed him that the fish was already dead or close to dead and would never survive anyway.
If you have deuce 9, you do.
And all he basically did was just feed some sharks.
Brian M., do you want to stay 10-25? Or you want to put, yeah, okay, thank you.
Ganzfried has played it really close to the vest, waiting for big hands, and he's gotten paid off.
My lesson, but I'm just a stick player.
Table is on table 3, along the wall by the curve.
It's not sexy, but it's certainly effective in a game like this.
It's a bold statement.
Ganzfried has also picked his spots well. Won a couple of hands without the best of it. He's going to put a continuation bet out here and put some pressure on Laak's fours.
An ace.
And sure enough, he wins it.
I'm out. What do you think about Tuck's analysis?
It's hard
Worth
to
check
battle
out
the bot.
the ace six.
Battle the bot. Phil does quite well against bots,
Angle
but only limit bots he does well against.
I only remember getting called. Except I want to beat other
Robots
people.
giving Phil paddling today. And me.
Are you a bot?
And David.
He
Program.
invented
Seems like a pretty pretty easy check raise
The first
with the
one,
4-3 or 4
Can you take like your hand off, their skin
my
off,
hand on
like?
the river, right?
like
Don't worry, it's only for heads up.
That's on
Is the
that,
bot,
but
so
feels like it's a pretty
I
easy check
can-
raise with a 4-3,
She was thinking,
4-2.
Difficult.
Like, are you like Terminator? Can you peel your skin off and reveal your inner workings?
He was big blind, I was straddle, so it's like.
You see Terminator? Have you ever seen Terminator?
Nobody's
Terminator.
gonna pay me off that much.
Original.
I don't even like
With
ages
Arnold
ago maybe.
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Chili raising 300.
Skin and he was
And to show
robot
that he was a
under.
robot.
Yeah.
Eldridge called.
I play the whole day, and at the end of the session, I'm
That
just
would be
like,
good.
That would be
yep,
really
I'm
Send it, David. No one can call.
We're going to get some multi-way action here. I think everybody but Harman will be in this one.
We're leading the witness in a multi-handed putt. You know.
Guys, no one can call, right?
Yeah, I like this 300. Why are you talking him into that?
Once again, guys, if you want to follow me, I am Tuchman Sports and Twitch and on Twitter.
It's so rare.
I protest. I think you should only make these comments.
Poker, football, beer,
Yes,
How much Phil?
I second that. I think he should
You
have
know-
a one-round pen.
basically my life. Every once in a while, I'll bore you with some really ridiculous video of my kid. Eric 300 says, what did they buy in for, Tuck? Various amounts. Some guys bought in for like, I want to say that Laak probably bought in for 15,000 or 20,000. I know Eldridge bought in for like 20K.
My subs.
While the man we're looking at right there,
All in.
Sam Ganzfried,
Oh no.
Wow. What do you got?
Not much. Nothing. Yes.
What is the hand?
10-9?
we had an all-in and a call. Sevens, first queen, jack.
This is how it goes.
So it's cash game. You can buy in for whatever you want. Minimum buy-in is 5,000 though.
Number 4 is
The max buy-in used to be 20K, but we've kind of abolished that, haven't we?
Quad 4s with an ace.
I did, essentially.
You did.
It never was, right? It was, but I mean, we see people buy in for more. If somebody wanted to buy in for 30K, you're not going to stop them. So we know the min buy-in is 5K. Really no max, although we try to keep it to 20K. But if you lose your money, you can rebuy, and that might be what Baker has to do here. We saw that one queen is dead.
Queen 9.
So it's sevens versus queen jack suited. If all of Baker's cards were live, you see that he's a slight favorite.
Player on 2.
Not a slight favorite anymore on a king deuce deuce board.
We wouldn't go past the
I
flop.
mean, there's no way the queen or the jack are coming, right? Not the way Baker's running.
Ace 10.
Oh, what a sweat, though. A 9, an ace, a queen, or a jack.
One of us is skinning, so get a chip on her over. One of us
One
needs to.
slow motion, really slow.
Hold on, wait, which one? Hold on. Do it.
I want to sell insurance.
I'm just going to watch Jen's face.
Actually,
She'll tell me that I want to
face down right here.
Which one you
No,
drop the
face down
card
right here.
to?
Let her
Or
squeeze it.
I want to see. I just showed this.
Face down right here.
Just do your natural thing. I just want to be the first one to see the jack. Like, the world's going to see.
No, say what it
Just have him put it
Face
face
down,
down and
face
then
down.
sweat it.
4 of hearts.
Oh, it's fine. Just I don't want to interrupt the energy. Just do what you're doing. I just want to see it fit. I want to breathe right now. I'm actually at peace with it. It's such a wide.
negative.
It's a power. It's an
So
easy flip.
negative.
Anyone can win.
Yeah.
It's going to be the jack of hearts. I'm not worried.
No, it's going to
Face
be 4
down.
of hearts. 4 of hearts.
Wait, now squeeze. Let David squeeze it. Or you want to?
Okay, good job.
Chick, what happened? Chick, queen of heart. I thought it was a jack of hearts. Wait, he didn't burn.
Did someone say they had ace jack?
You had me covered in
75. Thank God I went all in free. I would have never won this hand.
5, 6. It's true.
This is Matt Glantz's fault. I would have never won this hand. How am I going to win this hand? It comes king deuce deuce.
Wow.
Hey, is that enough? You pay me
I got
enough?
the guy moving my queen. Okay, sir. How much did you get in?
7,500
Only 75. Oh, you only had 7,500.
I fold ace king, and I get it all in with queen jack.
It's only It's only 150 big blinds. It's not that big of a deal.
This team is like.
He got it all in.
So Baker gets lucky. He turned the world. Could have caught an ace, a 9, queen, or a jack. Queen was good enough for him, and he doubles up there. So it looks like Phil Laak is going to be rebuying. They're having a good time.
I still can't breathe. Folding the ace king and would have won that race.
It's a shame that the jock boy is on home arrest and has to watch this.
And I won the dirty way.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what happens. It always amazes me when somebody calls a game stupid yet continues to watch. Or on Twitter, somebody will tell me I'm an idiot, yet they continue to follow. That's the great thing about this country. You don't actually have to watch the show. It's your choice. I mean, we love that you watch the show, and I love the people that are out there that really do enjoy it. I can also assure you that the players are playing with their own money.
Queen jack of spades.
100%.
Yeah. Trust me, Todd is cheap. He's not going to give any of these guys money.
No, I mean, they play with real money. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, David just doesn't have a very good history on Poker Night in America. He's played several times, and I think he might be winner once. But he tells me, I had dinner with him last night, and he said, you know what? I come to this, I just want to have fun, and I might be blowing off some buy-ins, but for me, it's a good time, and I don't want to, knit it out. So that's his just style, and it just hasn't worked out.
By the way, he might actually, I think he's still down a little bit, but after winning with the Queen 9 against Tilly 7-4, and then winning with Queen Jack there, he might actually be close to even. Eldridge outflop, so we'll add the best hand to start here. He's got a pair of aces now, Laak with a pair of 7s. Todd Anderson, David Tuchman here.
Thank you, Matt.
I don't think I had anything to do with it, actually.
2 pair now for Eldridge. Getting worse and worse for Laak.
He turned up like aces.
I could blame you.
Full cover to shove there and be like.
But yeah, if they weren't playing with their real money, I'd be on the show more often. And when I mean more often, I mean ever.
No, come on. You do great at this show.
No, I mean as a player. Like if we weren't actually playing with your own money, I would push to play more often. The problem is I just don't, I don't have 5 figures to throw around.
Yeah, you do. I'd back you.
Oh, then there you go. Okay.
And I thought he was susceptible. So it was a lot of
It
playing.
looked like
a lot of
he was
players
really thinking about not doing it, then he just decided, what the fuck, I'm putting it in.
Honestly, the reason why I was thinking about not doing it.
You're right, the jock boy.
Could have won a much bigger pot.
He's right. He's totally right.
Up to 1,500, that wasn't gonna.
Let's just come out and let's pull the curtain back and just tell everybody the truth.
Everything's
Jock boy,
fake. Everything's fake. The moon landing was fake.
Fake.
It was all
Conspiracy.
I wanted a chance at all of it.
The Holocaust. Fake. Didn't really happen.
That's poker.
I can go there. I'm Jewish. It's fine.
That was my
And
thought.
everybody's looking at it going, Dave, you can't say that. What are you doing?
Do I want to try to win 7,500 or like 10,000?
Come on, in light of what Donald Trump, what does Donald Trump want to do now?
Had him off.
He wants to have all Muslims register?
Suited.
I thought the Holocaust was a apropos subject to bring up. I don't want to get into politics, but I read that. I was like, wow, really? We're going there? Man. Queen, Jack, 3, rainbow. Tilly open-ended. Eldridge with a pair of 3s. They're 50-50 to win this one.
Yeah, I was telling her, I was like, I like, I play whatever. She was like,
We play very different.
He keeps the pressure on, doesn't he?
sometimes.
One show I got in 13,000 against Sean D pre-flop.
Ouch.
Yeah, you know what? It's really nice when you raise the flop with bottom pair. Really weird spot to actually raise with. I mean, in position, conventional wisdom would be like, just call there. He decides to raise, gets the pot to be bigger, and then hits a 3.
And somehow Jen's like, he probably has the 3. I might as well fold.
Well, the problem is the problem is she could be drawing dead. I mean, if he has what he's repping, if he has a set, he has a full house now.
Right.
So it's like she can beat Queen Jack if she hits her straight.
5,000 Sean.
But if he did have
Ace 5 off.
a pair already, if he did have a set,
That didn't work out so well.
she could be drawing dead.
One time I got in 7,500 with Queen Jack suited. Hit the river.
It feels like it was more, but it actually was only 8,000.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
That was a really good flop for you,
felt like
by the way, Phil.
14,000.
King deuce deuce.
There was a spade.
There was
Even
a
though Dave
spade, though.
folded 2 spades and Jennifer folded a queen, but I still managed to get there. It was a good
The
turn
turn
card
was
to
so
10.
huge, I couldn't.
Jennifer's been pretty quiet today, hasn't she? Harman?
Some chances.
I think Harman is always pretty quiet. Right? I mean, she's not.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with her cash game. I mean,
yeah, I've commentated on her a few times. I don't think she's like. I don't think she has kind of a alpha personality.
But I mean,
and frankly, with Jennifer,
she hasn't played a lot of hands.
No, and I mean, in all fairness, we're here to have a good time, and obviously we're putting on a great show, and these guys are all here playing with their own money, putting on a great show. The vast majority of the players at this table aren't no-limit hold'em specialists.
Right.
Jennifer Harman, she'd be the first to tell you.
She's a limit player, right?
Yeah, she plays all the mixed games,
Just feels like
Baker. I mean, Baker won a bracelet in 8 game at the World Series. Glantz plays stud.
I mean, that's what you're known for.
None of these guys is gonna. Most of these players aren't gonna come out and be like, "Oh yeah, no limit's my best game." I'm sure a couple of them maybe, but
no distraction.
Not today. Today I'm here to fuel you up from your.
You're the only one I can be, Phil. You realize how buried I am, and yet
I mean, Glantz is well-renowned on the East Coast. He's one of the best stud players in the world.
Like $300.
I don't remember that. I don't know. Oh, 325.
Nice hand, Jen. See, I root for you sometimes too.
Thank you.
I would root for David too if he won that hand. I don't really care. I'm indiscriminate. Even though he squeezed me right out.
Tilly's going to take that one down again.
Good flop for 2 kings.
Oh, you're in bad shape. I had 2 kings as well.
I'm amazed nobody's asked for a shout out today.
In terms of who?
I mean, shout out like in the chat room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, usually we get a lot of shout outs. Yeah, people always do it.
Oh, here it is. Here's our hand, Matt. Right there on the live feed.
So, like, what do they want us to say?
I never really understood it. I mean, I assume it's just they just want you to say their name.
Oh, okay.
Bring it over there.
I generally call people if I see somebody. I usually try to mention everybody in the chat as
So
much as I
let's
can.
mention Jack's up.
No, don't mention his name.
Isn't Laak a no-limit hold'em specialist? Actually, I think he's a video game specialist.
Yeah. Well, Laak is like a
and a surfing specialist, and we were talking today.
he's like a life specialist.
Well, he's got that figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he is like positive EV life.
I want to take our focus away because it'll make a bad.
I was actually talking to Jennifer this morning before we started, Jennifer Tilly, and she was talking about how life is so great, she doesn't like to go to sleep because she doesn't want to miss any of it.
She's like my 2-year-old.
Man, that's impressive.
I don't care. I just.
When's the last time you felt that way?
Yeah, please. I love sleep.
But if I can just see it, it's okay.
My God. Look at Eldridge. So Eldridge bought in for 20. He's up 21,000. Ganzfried bought in for 5. He's up over 25,000.
Actually, Ganzfried brought in for 8 because he reloaded for 3 at one
He did reload. Okay, so he bought in for 5, reloaded. So he's
But
still
up 22.
$22,000.
That's impressive. I don't know what Glantz bought in for. 10.
Glantz is up 6. So
And
Baker
reloaded a couple times, right? What's
So
he in for?
basically, Baker, Tilly, and Laak are being crushed. I think Harman really, like you said, she's kind of stayed out of the fray.
I think she bought in for 10, so she's about even.
Yeah, Baker's in for 40.
Ah, okay. Does Nicole know this?
Nicole's not feeling well. I asked him
I
earlier.
hope she's not watching the live stream.
There's no way she's watching the live stream. Pittsburgh's a great city. She's probably walking around shopping. Probably shopping.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too much, though, because
She's got her own money.
her hubby's stuck about 25.
Hey.
I had dinner and hung out with my sister who lives in Chapel Hill.
Eric 300 says, Tuck, what is your opinion on playing 2-5 blinds, $500 max buy-in compared to 2-5, $1,000 max buy-in? Do you change your play that much or no? I tend not to play the 500 max games very often. How about 2 pair here? For, man, hearts are cheap. Not surprisingly, no hearts in the flop. 2 pair for Eldridge, top 2. Glantz has got bottom pair. Nothing there for anybody else. I tend not to play the smaller buy-in one. But yeah, I think it's I think it's a much different game. One is people are buying in for 200 big blinds, 150 big blinds, and as the game progresses, you'll see people at the table with 300, 400 big blinds. So the game plays really deep. In fact, here at the Rivers Casino Poker Room, they have a 5-5 game. You can buy in as much as $2,000. I played that last night. Great game. So the smaller buy-in, I mean, you've got to adjust your play, obviously, if the stacks are shallower relative to the blinds. So I think it's a huge difference. Thanks for the question, Eric. Appreciate it. Nicholas says Harman is looking good with the long hair. I agree. I think she looks great. We're looking at Jennifer Tilly right now.
We're going to go on break soon.
Who's never hard on the eyes.
Like 5:30 or something, and then you maybe drink after that.
That sounds good.
I'm waiting for him to start drinking myself.
They mentioned doing shots earlier, and I said, where are they?
We got to get that thing lit up. After break.
I'd like them too.
What time is it now? What time is it now?
It's about
Okay.
What are your thoughts on tattoos?
I'm not in favor.
No, I'm getting one.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Your kids.
Huh?
Say your kid's name?
My wife and I are getting one together. I mean, it's not like a joined one, but we're going to go together, and she's getting her tattoo. I'm getting my tattoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna say what it is?
No.
It's a personal thing.
No. It's kind of a quote from a Bruce Springsteen song that I love.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big Bruce fan. By the way, rumor has it, and that'll blow my mind away, Baker's the original Razor. He's not going to like this flop very much with threes. There are some flops you don't like, you can continue on with when you have threes. Yeah, this is a tough one, though, when you get called in a couple of spots. But Bruce, rumor has it that Bruce might be going on, Bruce and the E Street Band might be going on tour again starting in December for like a short little 2-3 month tour. If this is true, I will go to at least 2 of those shows, and hopefully more, depending on where they are. I will travel to see him.
6:30.
That's the Black Keys for me.
Huh?
I'll travel to see the Black Keys.
Okay. Have you ever seen Bruce?
I've seen Bruce, and it was a 3-hour show, and I think I recognized one song, and it was a cover. It was like, I think he covered Bob Marley or something.
Right.
I mean, it was, I really had a hard time with it, because I love some Bruce. Like, I love Brilliant Disguise, and I love, obviously, the one with the guy, when he's standing with his back with the Born in the USA.
Right.
I love that one, too. So I guess I'm kind of a lame Bruce Springsteen fan.
You don't have to. You know what? To each their own. I'm not a big fan. You don't have to push your likes on anybody else. In all fairness, I liked Bruce before I saw him in concert. I didn't love him. I liked him. And then when I saw him in concert, and the energy and the passion that he brought to it,
he's a hard-working guy.
Yeah, I'm very attracted to passion and talent and hard work. And
that pretty much epitomizes him.
And that was kind of what it was. I mean, the guy was like 60 years old, and he's just sliding across the stage. And I was like, this guy's the boss.
Have you seen the Rolling Stones?
I've never seen the Rolling Stones.
I've seen them maybe 3 times. And I'm not even that big of a fan, but I'm just, you have to be impressed by it. Like, when they hit the stage, you're like, okay, these guys are still cool. Like, they still got it.
Yeah.
And Mick is, what, 114?
Yeah, I mean, well, he's still got 16 years left to live, according to Phil Laak. Phil Laak says
16 years?
Yeah, 130 is when most people will die soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got a long way to go.
What is he talking about?
The average age of
people and
will increase to 130 very shortly.
Actually, I think with Singularity, they could become. You're talking immortal. You could be immortal. Like, my kids could be immortal. Our kids together, your kids, my kids, they could be immortal because of Singularity.
Wow.
Boy, we're really getting deep now.
This is good.
Actually, Brian is like totally digging my chili right now. He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, man. Would I want to be immortal? I don't know. Whole nother question for a whole nother day. We'll get into that over some drinks later on, I'm sure. Eldridge opens with 9-10. Eldridge has been active throughout. I mean, he's not shy about putting chips in the pot.
And the way things are going for him, he's going to spike an 8 here on the turn.
He doesn't need to. He just needs to bet, which is all he did.
There you go.
I mean, that's the great thing about when you raise in position and you get a blind defend, you don't need to hit your flop. You just need your opponent to miss.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody who's new to poker, if you stumbled upon us via Twitch, let's say you're a video gamer and you're like, what is this? It's pretty cool. But the great thing about poker, if you're watching this, if you're raising in position and you only get one opponent, your opponent's only going to hit the flop 1 out of 3 times. They're only going to make a pair 1 in 3 times. Right. So when they don't make a pair, if they don't have a draw, a lot of times they're just going to check fold. So it's kind of the power of being the aggressor. Take a look at the chip counts once again. Eldridge pacing the field. Ganzfried, our big winner, though, up 22,000. Eldridge also up about 22,000, though. As we said, Baker down 25K. Tilly, what's Tilly in the game for? She's got to be in for like 30.
I think there's enough players. They're all just...
Tilly, Laak, and Baker are our big losers for sure.
Am I doing the roll where...
I mean, our top 3 on the board right there are up a combined 48K.
Yeah,
she's in for 20.
So she's only down 5.
She's only down 5.
I guess Laak is probably down like 15. And I know Baker's down 25.
I mean, if she folds or is otherwise not involved, there's
Just your first hand?
You had Jack 9, you were floating me on that hand. I knew
People suggesting that I might get a tramp stamp of Bruce's face.
You know Chris Hanson has a tramp stamp.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wow. Seriously? Did he lose a bet?
Am I lying or not?
Did he lose a bet?
I just want to know, am I lying or not?
You're not lying. Did he lose a bet?
I think he was one of the original tramp stamp guys, like before anybody
what do you mean
else did it.
original? Who else
Well,
is
like
there?
the first person. I think he back when he did it, nobody had one. So
Nobody still has it.
well,
Somebody told him.
Hey.
Somebody told him, "Hey, guys should get tramp stamps," and he was like, "Okay, cool. I'll be the first one." And nobody followed him.
I miss Miss Shadow.
Chris is what you call Metro.
Yeah. Okay. In North Dakota, that goes a long way.
Like his wife, now wife, was convinced that he was gay
Oh,
like
I
when they
missed
knew each other in college. So
Look where we're going. Look where this conversation
we're
is
talking
going.
about immortality.
This
we're
is
talking
fantastic.
About the Holocaust. We're talking about tramp stamps. And,
Chris Hanson was just outed on a live stream.
well, good thing nobody's listening. So
Yeah, exactly. We've got like 14 viewers. It's totally fine.
I think Laak is ready to just go play in the tournament and be done with this.
Yeah, I sincerely think he and Tilly have a great relationship, and they are great together. You know, in terms of couples, I love the two of them. I don't know if he loves playing with her.
He
though.
doesn't. I know he doesn't.
So I think it creates an element. Somebody actually was suggesting that it creates an element for the rest of the players. I think it actually hurts him. I think part of the reason he ended up going broke in that hand with the Queens versus King Queen was because of her.
Yeah, because he shoved. Because he was.
Yeah, and she had to raise. Well, she raised, so he couldn't check raise. The hand took on a different dynamic because of that.
He wasn't supposed to play this session,
Right.
and I don't think he wanted to. But
We'll get him out of here in a second.
yeah, we got the satellite winner coming in.
Who won?
I can't remember his name, but he's a local guy and he plays in the room every day, and he's very, very excited. There's a lot of guys that are really interested in playing in the satellite to win the
Of course. Dude, a chance to be on a live stream, a chance to be on TV. I mean, that's cool. If you play on the show, you can tell your friends, tell your family, hey, you can watch me on CBS Sports Network. When will this air? Approximately?
It'll air in the spring sometime.
Springtime?
Yeah. This will be part of 2016. We've got some crazy sick games coming up. The episode starting in 2016, we launch with the episodes that you actually missed. But it's Negrano and Helmuth and Antonio,
The Vegas
and Phil,
ones.
and
I heard those were great.
we're editing those right now, and they're really good.
Got a really interesting spot here for Ganzfried. I mean, he can only beat a bluff.
If it's a difference between flatting and folding, you could show me a card. I'll take off my glasses. You can look at my pupils for depth. You know, eye dilation, Joe Navarro, macro tells. It's available if you want.
It's all just going in the computer right now.
I'll show a card.
Okay, and I'll show you my.
What card do you think I'm going to show?
Correlate this moment with my eyes because I'm going to react, right? Okay, so
It's
I actually have to see
Yeah,
what
but
it is
you
first
think-
because these are prescription, but I'll go like this. So. Okay, I'm ready.
here's a card.
9 of clubs. What happens? What's going on in here?
Okay, so Ganzfried is pretty much showing him the best hand I could possibly have right now is Jack 9.
Wow.
And look at that. Phil talked him into that fold.
He
talked him into the fold.
That was wizardry.
That's even. It shouldn't. I thought you were calling thin. I had one pair. It felt like he was in a call mode. I don't know.
The robot doesn't
on
make
the fence?
mistakes.
The robot plays good.
The robot doesn't make mistakes.
The stone cold bluff from Phil Laak gets through. So I know you can't talk about it too much, but pretty excited about schedule next year.
In a long time.
Yeah, we're going to be announcing some stuff pretty soon. Like
Yeah.
we're going to have a really busy first half of the year.
Machina?
Going to some new stops. I can tell you we're going to be in California for the first time, maybe even twice
Isn't that an unbelievable movie?
in the first 6 months.
I was like, oh, what's going on? Oh. So I thought all the programmers that has to be like a poster in the room.
I think Tilly has gotten up from the table, right?
Yeah, I don't see her.
Oh, Jen's in a hand.
You think it's a coincidence? Tilly gets up from the table.
Phil wins.
Laak.
So
And
she's,
he comes to life.
yeah, he changed. Like he actually talked the guy out of a
A
calling.
bunch of fives came.
Yeah,
10
10, 5, 5.
Maybe he doesn't want to be himself with her at the table.
Well, I just think it's an interesting element because I think he's very aware of the dynamic that occurs at the table. Jennifer is so active; she plays so many hands that for Phil to play, he's got to play hand with her.
Yeah.
And
Never have it.
Well, when you make hands.
If I make it.
I have no problem with playing with couples. I have no problem playing with friends. It's when two people are playing together and they don't let you know
Right.
that they're friends and they're kind of soft playing each other. In their case, I mean, it's the same bankroll. It's not a big deal. 10 high flop. Looks like.
Did anybody fold? I mean, look at this.
No, nobody fold. Everybody's in there. Pot's $1,400. It was a $200 raise. $250 raise, actually, from Laak. It's a dry board. Eldridge is going to bet 700 with 10-9. I don't think Glantz is going to go anywhere.
I don't know if we did, yeah. Well, my win.
I mean, frankly, I'm kind of surprised that a lot of these players are folding so quick. I mean,
my win rate's been.
I know it's a multi-way action, but you got overcards, you got some straight draw possibilities.
A rate I can kind of handle.
And they're the two players that are still in this one: David Eldridge, Matt Glantz,
was just
locked up.
Couldn't keep up with that. No, it was
There's a word for that. No.
The 9 does play right now.
slower.
Not anymore. This one will get chopped up.
Oh man, one word too to cover the whole thing.
No, that was tough.
If anybody bets, they win, right?
I don't think so. I think this gets check bet call. I don't see how you can fold this. I mean,
He's going to fold.
He could, but I mean, remember Glantz checked back the turn, so he doesn't have many 5s in his range. It's much more likely he's got a 10 than anything else, and you chop it with every 10, except ace 10.
He sees that ace and he just assumes that.
Why? Why would you assume that Glantz is an ace, though? He called on a 10-5-3 board. I mean, the only ace he would really have, he'd really have is like ace 4 of hearts, where he kind of like,
Good river.
How much money did he buy in for a net all throughout the night? Like, I'm trying to figure out if I'm stuck more
I
than
think
him.
30.
Oh, so he's doing better than me now.
I think.
Here you go. Give it to me.
I think 30.
I'm stuck 20.
What's your favorite stop
Matt,
now?
can you shuffle chips?
Nah.
Or can you just put it on top of each other?
And not casino-wise. I mean, city-wise. I'm not asking you to tell me which casino you like the best. I know, obviously, you've got relationships with all these casinos that we go to, and frankly, whether it's Turning Stone or Hard Rock and Seminole or Rivers Casino, wherever we end up going, I know you've got a good relationship with all those places, and they all have, they all have their pros.
You know what?
But I'm just wondering, in terms of town
Right.
and where to hang
You know
out.
where I had the most fun?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Philadelphia.
Okay.
We had a ball. Like, just went bar hopping one night. Went to a Phillies game one night. Good restaurants. Just, I like that town a lot more than I ever thought I would.
I can't throttle.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Turning Stone's a gorgeous resort. I would go there. I mean, the fact of the matter is, we've got family in upstate New York, so we go to Turning Stone. I love that resort. It's not a town I want to hang out in, though. There's nothing else there except the resort. That's what I mean. So, Pittsburgh, I'm kind of excited. I want to see the city.
Yeah, this is another beautiful city. They have more bridges in Pittsburgh than any city in the country or the world.
I have no idea.
One of the two. It's a sickening amount. Like, what do you think the number of bridges are in this town? How many bridges are in Pittsburgh? 3 rivers going together. What do you think? Ballpark it.
16.
It's more like 500.
500 bridges?
Yeah.
I call the under. There's no way there's 500 bridges.
Okay, I'm going to say at least 400. There's 400 bridges.
He's already backing up here.
Well, I mean, it's not too much of a stretch to go from 500 to 400.
Chris Hanson sitting here on the sideline.
Look at that.
About to Google this.
I said 400 or 500.
Blazin66 says
What?
second in the world only to Venice, Italy.
I checked.
406. What constitutes a bridge? I mean, are we talking about like the little bridge at like the playground that my kid walks over? Is that a bridge? 440. That's not that big a city.
Hey, look, man. Siri doesn't lie.
That's a lot of bridges. Wow. Anyway, okay, fair enough. But no, I'm excited. Hollywood, Florida, by the way, which is where we go for Hard Rock Seminole. I got to go out drinking with the guys, and it was great.
Were you downtown in Hollywood there?
Yeah, I went downtown. I went with Stapes and I was kind of his wingman all night.
Yeah.
Watching Stapes in action with the women.
I would like to see
the
that.
man's good.
The
man is good.
He's got some game, doesn't he?
He's got game, and I'm a hell of a wingman. Now that I'm like off the market,
Yeah.
I'm willing to take a bullet for the team. I'll put it that way.
Thank you.
Laak just on full rampage. Look, all in. Phil Laak.
And Jennifer Tilly is coming back to the table. So
she's got fruit.
Like Samson's hair just got cut off, right?
Could be. We'll see.
Haven't I played? aces.
She's just, I mean, if she wasn't so active, maybe it would be different, but she just plays a lot of hands.
Aces, kings, or queens yet today.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that Phil just shouldn't be ever playing with Jennifer. It's just he's just a changed person.
You know,
What you got, Ace King?
They also, both of them,
just rails them. You know, he gets
can you imagine going out to dinner with the two of them, like as like a double date? You wouldn't say a word.
No, I wouldn't. I've actually been to dinner with Jennifer, and she's got some amazing stories. She's very funny.
Yeah.
Phil wasn't there, but
the diamonds. He likes to see the people in the pain in the city. You know? He's like,
she said her line of the night was she talked about one of her old boyfriends. His name was Peter. He's English. She says, "Yeah, now I'll call him Peter the Not So Great."
75 with 25.
That's pretty funny.
Because I waited for the button to pass.
Yeah, that's what the normal pro call is.
Oh, okay. I thought that's why you.
I don't think we'll ever up in Tunica, but we're going to be close to Tunica.
Come back in.
Tune in.
So how much?
Stay tuned, I should say.
Yeah, that was,
This hand for free if nobody raises.
What if you?
who asked that question?
Supreme Terrific.
Supreme Terrific, cool.
In some home games.
Chester wanted to know if we'd ever be in Montreal.
Oh, actually, the big fight. Oh, wait. Never mind. I understand. That's okay. I'm in.
I mean, that's the great thing about poker. I mean, I'm very lucky. I tell anybody who asks, you know, way back when I started my career doing Live at the Bike, and very much indebted to getting my experience with them and being able to travel the world through poker commentary and through playing. And I have been to some amazing places, whether it be South America, Europe, Africa,
What's going on?
and of course North America. It's just some amazing places you can see.
A mind meld came in.
I kind of always tell people, I go, listen, if you do travel with poker, give yourself an extra day on the beginning or the end of the trip, so you can kind of see the city you're in.
But I'm not going to sit out 8 more hands.
No, of course not. Okay.
We continue on here. Button in front of Glantz. Once again, we're playing 25-50. We're in Rivers Casino at Pittsburgh. David Tuchman, Todd Anderson. At this in this makeshift commentary booth.
Yep, you're missing your man Joe Stapleton. So
Is he in Barcelona now, or is he?
he's busy with something. I don't
I think there's
remember
going to be a
what.
table in the back. If not, we'll just say on the things out here. But
We're gonna get Stapes back in here though.
so we only take half.
Yeah, we'll get Stapes back. I mean, you guys are a great team.
Instead of us ordering.
We get some of our highest viewership ever when you guys are on the show. Unlike today, where we're talking about tramp stamps.
By the way, that would probably come up with Stapes too. I mean,
Just order whatever.
if there's anything about a show with Stapes is we do go on tangents as well. Chris, is this true? By the way, can I see this thing? Can I see it? Huh?
Yeah,
I gotta pay you to see it?
Wow.
Wow. First one's never
First
free.
one's never free. I've seen it. I saw it this morning.
That's strong.
We're roommates.
Wow. More information than I needed to know, but
Well,
thanks
you
for sharing.
Take that wherever you want, but we're on a budget here at Poker Night in America.
No, ace high still good here. Baker's gonna bet. I think if you check back the ace 10, you kind of have to call his turn.
Oh, no problem.
Salt sandwiches and pizza.
And Eldridge does.
Let me look now that everyone's looking at it. Now I'm curious.
And I think if you're gonna bluff with the king 9, you might as well keep bluffing when you make your hand.
Might as well hit the king.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think a lot of players kind of forget. They're like, hey, you know what? You were going to play it as a bluff. If you back into what is probably the best hand,
Club. You earned it today.
if you think your opponent might be hero calling you with a hand like ace jack, ace queen, something like that, go ahead, bet it for value. And you can see Eldridge is thinking about this one because it doesn't really add up. The only thing that would one of the hands that I might put my opponent on when he bets the turn is backdoor hearts, though, and that did get there. And look at this, pays him off. Nice bet by Baker.
Whoa, David Baker.
And by the way, if Glantz watches this and sees that Eldridge paid him off with ace high, he'll even know more that he should have been betting that ace 6.
He had an ace 6.
No, the hand earlier on. Remember when he checked back two pair, and I hammered him for it.
No, that's the That's in the playbook.
Oh, okay. Hey, I got a tweet from Nicole Baker.
Oh no.
Okay, who tweets at NickMaz58. By the way, Nicole Baker also one of those. She looks like a deer. Okay, she looks like a sweet doe.
Right.
She killer.
Really?
Oh, she
Killer at what?
stole my money.
Apple pie? She
Football
killed
bet.
at apple
No,
pie?
listen. She was like, I don't know how to bet football. and then she took my money.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Her and her husband, her and David are just absolute killers. Anyway, apparently, she says David is only in for 30,000, so quote unquote, only down 15,000.
Oh, well, maybe he's either hiding the 10 from her, like maybe he's texting
I'm not
her
going to out him.
and saying, or our statistician is wrong. Or it's none of our business. There's a nice flop. Look at this. We got Tilly against Laak.
Oh, it's not no big deal.
Yeah, and this is just a situation where it's like Laak's like,
And
really?
Baker's open-ended.
Yeah, his hand doesn't have a ton of value. He's got no backdoor heart possibilities. And the problem is, like, even if he makes his hand, he knows he's not going to get paid,
Chicken salad.
generally speaking. Now, if he had ace-10 there, it's a little different, because then if you hit your king,
Just a salad.
you can get paid off to the tilt by somebody else who has a 10. But when you only have a 10 there, it's like you got a naked draw that's really obvious. So I like to lay down. Kevin G. Tweeting in says, I can't believe Tuck compared a poker conspiracy theorist to Holocaust conspiracies.
Can I have-
Absolutely classless. Thank you.
What are the options?
That's what I'm here for.
I think he's a little oversensitive, don't you? I mean,
Can I do Caesar? Thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
I think we were just kind of riffing on it. Like I said, the moon landing was fake, and you said
I just took it one step further.
It went from we're not playing with real money to you're right, it's fake. The moon landing was fake, and then you escalated it pretty fast.
Yeah, that's what I do. You know what? After working with Stapes, I found a new inner me.
What do you mean?
Well, just one that I'm not afraid to kind of like see the line and step right over it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what comedians do.
Exactly. He just does it better than I do. It's fine. Glantz is going to open here with 2 black 4s. Baker's going to call. Ganzfried, I think called. At least we have him on the chart as calling. And everything going Ganzfried's way. He might not win this pot, but he's got the best of it right now. By the way, Nicole Baker is obviously watching.
Hi, Nicole.
Go ahead.
You want a malt later?
I'm gonna have the Italian plug panini. Does that come with lettuce and tomato? I don't want tomato. No tomato.
Do you want lettuce?
No, not particularly. But okay, that's fine.
Is it possible to get the tuna salad on French bread? Not on the croissant?
We can put on the gluten bread. That's fine.
Yeah, that'll work. And no mayonnaise, extra mayonnaise on the bread, please.
Well, thank you for saying hello.
Extra mayonnaise.
No extra mayonnaise. No mayonnaise at all.
Check, check. Glantz needs a 4 on the river.
On the bread.
Sort of went
You know what I'm
sideways.
saying?
And that is not a 4, my friends.
Sure. Usually they'll put mayonnaise and then the tuna salad and
I
then.
think it's a pretty good bluff card, though.
Good luck, Ola.
Glantz can beat flush draws, but I think he'd probably assume that flush draws would bet the river as a bluff. So if Ganzfried checks this, it's more likely that he's got some sort of king or he's got an 8. While you're probably not going to get a king to fold, I do think you can occasionally get 8s to fold because you can rep hands like ace-jack, queen-jack even. Those are hands that might bet when checked too, the way the hand played out.
Yeah, they need to start drinking after the break. I'm going to start buying them shots.
Opening pot.
Can I get a few as well?
Yeah, we'll send some back.
Awesome.
It's been an uphill ascent ever since.
It's been pretty good. I'm not.
I get really inappropriate when I start drinking.
Really? What's more inappropriate than the Holocaust? Like, where else can you go?
Who knows? Just get me a couple of drinks and you'll find out.
I mean, Japanese porn?
Oh, that's
Like eels and stuff?
That's every Tuesday.
Yeah.
How do you like it, Jen?
All I watch these days, I have a 2-year-old. All I watch these days, I either watch Curious George or Japanese porn.
What about bubble guppies?
It's fun.
Bubble guppies.
No, we haven't had that yet on. I mean, I know the show. but
No, is Bubble Guppies Japanese porn or is it a kid show?
I don't know.
What do you know?
Exactly.
Crack through. That opened some doors.
I'm trying to channel my inner Stapleton.
Before she actually.
Chris Hanson just sitting here shaking his head in disbelief.
In between every hand, they're just like, oh, this is the.
Can I get Chris on the show for like just a little bit? I want to ask him about the tramp stamp. I'm curious of the origination, like how it actually happened. Was it a lost bet? Did somebody actually convince you that this was going to be the new rage? All men are going to get tattoos above their ass. Maybe it's a North Dakota thing.
No, I wasn't even in North Dakota.
Wow.
He was in Japan.
Laak with the nut flush draw. Glantz with top pair. Eldridge with a smaller flush. This could be the chance that Laak is looking for. Helps him that Tilly's not involved in this. And wow, what a turn card. Not only did Eldridge turn the flush, but he has a redraw to the straight flush. Now we can see the ace is dead, but he can catch a 6. So he's got 1 out.
Even Glantz might like
Oh,
this
Glantz
turn.
is going nowhere.
He's got
Glantz
the
has got
second
top
flush.
pair with the king of spades. I mean, you couldn't find a better turn card for action.
For Mr. Laak.
Yeah. Or for our viewers as well.
I want Phil to make a big pot here.
Well, there's only one card in the deck that will lose it for him, so it's very hard for him not to be a reasonably big pot. I mean, the pot's already $7,000. He just called the turn, though. A river spade would be awful. Oh, instead, Glantz makes 2 pair. Now, Glantz there's got to be some red flags in Glantz, though. When he bets the flop, gets called in 2 spots, and then Eldridge leads into the field, Glantz has got to realize there's a good chance that maybe one of his opponents has got a flush.
So is Eldridge think
Eldridge
he's good
checked.
here? I know he's checked. Is he hoping to check raise or?
I long ago tried to get inside other people's heads. I don't know.
All in.
Laak moved all in.
Can you really fold a flush?
Well, it's just a question of I'll ask you this:
Make change later.
would Phil Laak move all in
For
for value? Forget about the bluffs. Would he move all in on the river with a hand worse than a flush? Would he do this with a set?
I thought you said you don't get in people's sides' heads.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you. This is not getting inside his head. I'm just saying, would a player value bet all in 9,400 into 7,000 with a hand worse than a flush?
Well,
my question is, my answer is probably no.
Right.
So, if you don't think,
did he bet too much then?
Well, no, I'm not. I'll go one step further. If you think, okay, well, if all of his value bets,
He folded. That's
great
a good
laydown.
fold.
If you think all of his value bets are flushes or better, flushes and obviously higher flushes, well then 5 deuce of spades can really only beat a bluff. And then you just got to ask yourself, how often is Laak bluffing? Laak, I'll put it this way, Laak always has the ace of spades in his hand here. It's just a question of, does he have...
Ace, king. Well, we saw Laak bluff earlier with king high against...
We know Laak's crazy. Laak's definitely capable of bluffing. It's just a question of, is he in this particular spot? Great laydown by David Eldridge. I mean, he lost the absolute minimum.
That's probably a good point now with 3 players. He's less likely to bluff against 2 opponents, probably.
Probably.
Good point.
Again, though, Laak's a sicko. If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Phil Laak.
I mean, the flush folded, and now here, Glantz is considering a call.
You can make the argument that King Jack here is really the same hand as a flush. They're both bluff catchers. You know what I mean? Like, Laak's not doing this with pocket 4s. Like, Laak either has a big flush or nothing, really. Effectively nothing. I mean, the annoying thing is if Laak knew what his opponents had on the turn, he would have raised. Because that was where he could have got a lot more action.
Right, good point.
94.75.
But it's an easy game to play when you know what when your opponents have. when you know what your
I
opponents
still
have.
struggle, even when I know what my opponents have. What if he's thinking he's got ace king with an ace of spade, like an ace of spades? Could he
Yeah,
be thinking
those are
that?
hands. I mean, I can go one other hand. I mean, I'll throw this out to our audience. Let's say Laak had called the turn with queen 10 with the queen of spades and rivered the straight. Would he think he's good? And would he bet this much? I'm kind of making up a hand because it's really hard to imagine him having queen 10 with the queen of spades, but...
Bobby, take a minute.
Disgusting.
That's it. You want 5-10?
Thin Gone PvP says Queen 10 can't be there and Laak doesn't move in without a flush. I tend to agree. I tend to agree that Laak's either got a flush or pretty much nothing. So I think, 5 deuce of spades, king jack, pretty much just a bluff catcher. Phil Laak silent.
I have top 2, Jim. So one yes, flush or nothing.
I think Cope Static might be on something. Laak talks when he's bluffing, he's mute when he's not. We've seen both, right?
Yeah. So your sample size is 2 hands?
It's 2 hands.
You ready to play against him?
I think
Are you ready to play
I think
against
he's
him?
on to something. I'm just saying. A very astute observation.
Todd Anderson versus Phil Laak coming up next.
Hey, I'm not. That's not even me. That's copacetic.
Yeah.
Keep it copacetic.
You could just have an ace.
A line from one of the best songs ever.
That's got to be frustrating for Laak. He's still down a significant amount of money today, and to turn the nut flush against another flush and king jack, which was top pair, and the king of spades, and not get more value out of that, that's gonna hurt. That's got to sting.
Come out in a half an hour. I think I might have had you.
Great.
D-Coot, your hand is not mucked when you expose one card. It's a cash game.
Yeah, everyone got the order.
Even at a tournament, your hand's not mucked when you show one card. They might give you a penalty, but your hand's not mucked.
Good hand, but I couldn't raise until the
Nice
river.
hand, Phil.
He said he had a good hand, but he couldn't raise until the river.
Oh, he's obviously lying.
Yeah. Okay.
Glantz is in the house. Matt, you want to come in here?
Everything's gonna be in 20 minutes.
So we're going on a break in about 25 minutes, apparently. Okay, so we got a half-hour break in 20 minutes. I see Glantz here.
You had a set?
Glantz, nice lay down there. The king jack of spades. King jack with the king of spades. Huh?
Nobody has.
Maybe
It's a nice lay down. It's a real good lay down.
I could have.
He cost himself a lot of money.
E3 is spades.
Oh, he gets you had the king of spades, you had the guy to flush.
but I have to go with my read.
It's going to get some of your money. You have the king of spades. If he raises a little, you're just folding top pair with the king of spades?
You had the king?
Okay.
Yeah, when I saw
David, a redraw to the straight flush, too.
happy with my decision.
I'm happy with my decision.
I mean, easy to play the game when you know the cards, though, right?
You might be the greatest of all time.
Pretty sick.
You didn't know in 28 minutes if you're the greatest.
So I was hammering you about the ace-6, the check back.
Me right now is still.
No, you got to bet that, man. Yeah.
That's what I think also. I mean, we'll see.
You and I can talk about it over a beer. I think the audience will be lost on that one, but I did talk. Todd was on the broadcast, and we talked about it during it.
It was that and Chinese or Japanese porn.
Yeah, that Japanese
discussing-
porn
and tramp stamps.
And tramp stamps. Did you know Chris Hansen has a tramp stamp?
To me that we didn't call.
Tattoo above your ass. Like like what all the basically like all the girls have it.
I mean, I don't know. Of course I have to.
Is it a butterfly or like a lotus?
They have those big hands. If one of them calls,
It's a bullseye.
Phil, you can tell us because we're going to see it right there.
I love it.
Am I lying?
I love it. Poker Night in America, guys. Hey, by the way, we are here again. Not only are we here till about 9 p.m. tonight Eastern Time, but we're here tomorrow for 8 hours. We're here on Sunday for 8 hours. We're here on Monday for 8 hours. And then next weekend, enjoy your turkey, your football, have some family time. And then the following week, we're in Florida at the Hard Rock Seminole. I'll be there as well. And more live cash games.
Starting Sunday.
Starting Sunday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, guys. That's November, I want to say 29th, November 30th, and December 1st.
Correct. Ladies' Night 3.
Oh, I love the ladies' night. Oh, and I'm going to be there for ladies' night. Oh, that's going to be so much fun.
All right, quad.
I now consider myself friends with most of the women that are playing in the game, so
you know if I'm in 30 or 30.
I think drinking games after and during are in order.
You could beat those two hands.
Neither of your hands can call. You just give big a bet.
Maybe I can talk to my wife about going on a break just for that week. Let's just take a break for 4 days. You think she'll be okay with that? Yeah, I'm sure. Totally cool.
I have it enough of the time that you guys have to both hold it.
I would like to bet that he had it.
Ganzfried bets.
I mean, not
Baker going nowhere. And this hand's over now. That's a terrible bluff card if you're Ganzfried.
Not really. I mean, no. If I have, I can have it easily. People don't bet big bets without having it.
1,400.
I don't, so I always have it.
Me too.
It is going to be a Thanksgiving weekend. I like that. Yeah, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
It was named after you?
I don't think so. Pretty sure it was not. Just the best holiday, though. Ganzfried thinking about making a move here. He decides not to, though. He's going to pick a better spot. I love the fact that it's, like, not materialistic. Like, there's no pressure of, like, oh, what are you going to buy everybody and what the presents and going shopping and all that bullshit. It's just, it's family, it's friends, it's great food,
and then
alcohol.
Then you rush off to the mall.
And then football. I don't. I
or
could care less.
Walmart. I think it's crap.
I could care less. I'm actually happy. I heard a lot of retailers this year have kind of fought back.
Good.
And they're not opening on Thanksgiving at all, and many of them aren't even going to open for Black Friday.
I think after this,
That's not true.
Some of them.
When you say many,
a few that have traditionally
less than the number of bridges in Pittsburgh.
I don't know. I cannot confirm nor deny that. I can just put it out there that there will be less retail opportunities for you on Black Friday this year than there were in the past, and in my opinion, that's a good thing.
In my opinion, they should just make that a holiday as well. Like just.
Isn't it? I mean, nobody goes to work on Friday.
Well, what I mean is,
like a straight.
I'm not a Black Friday guy. Like I've never once gone shopping on Black Friday.
Apparently, all Minnesota state parks are free on Black Friday.
Level 4 ends, then there's a break.
That's pretty random.
Who the hell wants to be in Minnesota on November 27th or whatever it is?
Me and Chris Hanson.
Have fun, guys. You guys can coddle each other.
I would not do that to my buddy.
No, but I mean, Thanksgiving, it's like, you Thursday, and then you go out and you toss the football around.
What are the games this year? What are the Thanksgiving games?
I don't know. Dallas plays, because they always play. Detroit plays.
How sick he was.
Brian's going to have it. Brian will have it for us.
Detroit, Oakland. Detroit, Oakland.
He's raising.
Well, now he's raising
Dallas.
Because he has a hand.
Tampa Bay.
Are you making this up?
No. Dallas, Tampa Bay, Detroit, Oakland.
Wow, scintillating.
That'll make it more positive.
The sick thing about that
Let us know. Straddle once again. So straddle, by the way, if you're new to poker, straddle is very simple. It's just another blind. It's twice as much as the big blind.
I'm convinced.
There we go. Chicago, Green Bay. That must be the night game. Carolina, Dallas. That'd be a good game.
You already said it. Are we still talking about that again?
That's a negative free roll for me.
You're wrong. These are totally wrong.
And you pick in a box how much you want to bet. And I write.
You're looking at the next week.
Still, yeah, you can't ever.
You're looking at last week.
But I'm so sure of it, so I'm not worried.
Carolina didn't play Dallas last week.
30 minutes.
So he could set the line and you could bet. He could set the line, have it or not have it, and you could bet whatever side you want.
I'll bet anyone else on the table besides you and Jen.
He's like quitting in 20 minutes. He doesn't want to be here when it shows up.
He really wants to leave. He's going to be sick about it. He's going to be like, how did you fall?
Oh, they just took it up.
I could have sworn Detroit was playing Oakland this week.
We got Grove Day confirmed what Brian has already told us.
Yeah?
Philly, Detroit, Carolina, Dallas, Chicago, Green Bay.
What the hell was I looking at?
What? How do I have that? It's not on.
I'm going to take Philly, Carolina, and Green Bay. Going on a limb.
It's just about the show up, too.
I don't think we should have it on anyway. I think it's distracting for the game. That's not going to make for good. It's going to make it harder to piece together good spots.
Probably, yeah.
That's what it does. It actually inhibits action.
too.
I've seen it in general inhibit action.
Hey, I think Jennifer's got a drink.
The worst thing is show one card or two cards after the hand. That's just that's the action killer of all time.
I don't know. I've played in some good games with the show one card, but
really, I'd see a failure on the
Phil, I rarely play in a bad game.
Ooh.
Weird. What was I looking at?
You see Eldridge's aces?
Rarely.
Pretty aces.
You're quick. Nothing gets by you, Jen. You miss nothing. I had so many people fooled for years that I was tight.
Whenever I call, you have the like.
Too high end. You can pull at 8.
I'm sorry. Oakland, Detroit this Sunday.
Can't block
I'm an idiot.
people that aren't going to fold, so you have to.
That was an uneventful pot.
Aces.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when when both players have like good enough hands to get the showdown, and they both think, okay, I can win this hand without bluffing at it, and neither one has a huge hand, a lot of times we get a very uneventful spot. So I'm stupid. Apparently, all the matchups that I was suggesting, the Tampa Bay Dallas, that's this weekend.
Check call mode, shell mode.
Detroit Oakland this weekend.
Tampa Bay Dallas was last weekend.
on the
Tampa Bay Dallas was last weekend?
Last weekend.
Jack.
Tampa Bay beat Dallas.
I might have
They did, you're right.
with the worst hand, thinking
I don't know anything, man. I'm just going to shut up.
knowing it was the worst.
Stick to poker.
I don't know anything. I'm so stupid.
Stick to poker and ethnic cleansing.
I do know one thing. I know that Thanksgiving is a great holiday, and I love it.
I do too.
The beer will be flowing in my house.
Uh-oh, I'm in the middle of a little turf war. I'll get out quickly. You guys, I'll leave it to you guys.
Baker in there with 10s. Eldridge in there with 10-7. 10 still in the lead. Baker's not going anywhere.
See, I knew it. That was predictable.
You're all welcome to Thanksgiving, guys. It's a good barrel card if you're Eldridge as the pre-flop raiser.
I wonder what a spade.
You're trying to get Baker to fold like a 9,
It was like
or in this case 10s.
I played it kind of. I think I
Looks like he's gonna bet.
I think I played it in
I've always kind of had like we take in all orphans on Thanksgiving mentality.
We take in what?
All the orphans.
All
you know,
orphans?
LA's
Syrians?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's no problem.
Especially Syrians.
Especially Syrians, exactly. I know LA is kind of a transient city, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of people without families there.
Okay.
So we don't want anybody to be alone on Thanksgiving, so
So they'll come to your house and you serve beer?
come over to the Tuchman's. Beer, turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry.
You guys might have made a bad
How about some churro ice cream?
That's good. Oh, that's good stuff.
watch for sure.
I now know where that is. I'm going to get something, actually. Wigmaster says, poker beer is already flowing at my house. Nice to hear. Tweet me pictures of your beer, guys.
Most likely you
If I had the nuts, I would check the river because I would figure he would do that.
Good idea.
So
Make me jealous.
I don't know, but I don't know anything in this game, so
he can help himself.
I can be totally.
We both had the blockers.
We both had the blockers.
Wow, I am Mangle Peak. What's the code? Mangle and Berry.
I'm crushing Valley.
Raven Darkheart enjoying the commentary, apparently.
Regular stuff.
He said, oh God.
Oh, God, this commentary.
I've heard that in a good way.
That's what I said. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it, Raven. Thank you so much.
Value.
It rhymes with Todd,
It's
so
ridiculous.
I'm playing against the best in the world, you know. I'm going to get paid like 1 in 12 times.
Phil and I can't afford to lose.
I don't know whether I'm hoping that Phil had it, so that he's tilted.
Are they still talking about the flush hand that he laid down?
They're
That-
tilted.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I mean, no matter what, it was. If I don't have it, it's still good that I won.
Yeah, they are.
If I had it, it's bad.
They are still talking about it. They haven't revealed it yet. Obviously,
I'm not.
the players are on break right now. We'll be on a break very shortly. They now know that he had it.
The best variation would have been if you had Queen 10 with the Queen of Spades. You got the flush to fold and the 2 pair to call, and then you would have just
Did you hear that?
bluff one and get paid off by a worse.
David Baker was talking about the best variation would be a Queen 10 where you have a Queen of Spades. That's what you were
The
saying.
best hand to fold and the worst hand to call.
Well, I knew no one had it straight. I was pretty.
It's just hard to imagine him having Queen 10 there. That would mean he called the turn. He called like 1400 on the turn
Yeah.
with a gut shot and a non-nut flush draw.
Rewind and
It's just
pick a hand.
kind of hard to imagine.
I like that hand. It's so dynamic. And the guy's value betting like an idiot here.
Yeah, value betting against the best hand to fold and the worst hand to call. It's like, what's better?
I'm just happy that I'm only stuck half the amount I was stuck earlier. That feels good.
Poker Got. How are you, man? Love Germany. Where are you, buddy? Where in Germany are you? Still one of my favorite places in the world, Berlin. That's a great
I
city.
haven't been there in 20 years,
It's changed.
and it was a ball when I was there.
John Hennigan was
You were there.
It was actually 25 years ago. I'm dating myself.
But you were there. I'm saying you were there though.
He said to me, who do you think?
I mean, right after the wall went
It was
down.
actually right before the wall went down. I
Right
went
before?
through Checkpoint Charlie.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I was a college student.
That's crazy. Yeah, the city has changed a lot. I've been there twice, both times in the last 6 or 7 years.
Great country.
It's so much fun.
You may win 40.
And just so everybody knows, we're really not trying to offend anybody, are we? I thought we were just joking around.
I'm actually trying to offend as many as possible.
Okay, all right. I'm not. I'm just having fun.
Just a guy from Sweden. Greetings from Sweden. Thank you, ma'am.
Screw Sweden.
Yeah, damn Swedes.
Goddamn Swedes. I'm Norwegian. We hate the Swedes. My grandma really does.
Does she?
Like she put them in the ground.
Yeah, there's some of that rivalry, that Scandinavian rivalry.
So tight, John.
Didn't just call.
Ganzfried puts his foot down. He draws a line in the sand. Eldridge is like, man, I just want to see a flop. I got 4s. Now, both these players are really deep, but this is a pretty hefty price for set mining. Do you want to call 3,000 to set mine?
You're like,
Generally, when I want to set mine, I want to be getting at least 12 to 15 to 1, because there's just so many things that can go wrong even when you hit your set. Your opponent can have ace-king, and you don't get paid.
oh my God.
Is one of them.
Show the 8-3 of hearts.
They really think Sam was bluffing there, huh?
Young Sambot, I'm gunning for you now.
Sambot.
Yeah.
Sambot, I like that. That's a good name. You just gave him his
Nobody
nickname.
moves me off my very good hand.
It's Sambot.
My very top 20 hand.
This is a cash game, Templeton.
That's good.
And gets away with it.
Sambot's gonna win 50 dimes tonight.
Go home.
Dangerous Pamplemouse or Moose says, hey, Sweden has a higher quality of life than the United States. USA is 10th in prosperity and quality of life, and 7th in freedom.
Oh, it depends.
At least there's
Look,
that.
I agree with all that, but I'm not sure about the 7th in freedom. Like, how do you rank that?
I was playing those so-called.
I've never seen that. Like, you can be 29th in healthcare, you can be whatever in education, but how are you 7th in freedom?
Well, I mean, the fact that we can't play online poker.
Okay, what is the?
I flew through Phoenix yesterday, and I couldn't play DFS while I was waiting in Phoenix.
Good point. Okay, I'm not questioning that either. I'm just, how do we arrive at that? That's what I'm curious about.
They ask me. Ace 9-8, 2 hearts out there. 3 still in the lead, but not anymore.
There's a freedom index. I didn't know that.
Is it a poll? Dallop guy says, in America we have a saying, my dog's bigger than your dog. Who says that? I've never heard that saying.
In America?
I've been living in America for a long time. I've never heard that saying. I mean, I might say it because my dog's actually pretty big, but I've never actually heard that saying. Chris?
I've said my dad's bigger than your dad. My dad could beat up your dad.
Your dad probably is bigger than my dad and could probably be. I don't know. How old's your dad, man?
Well, this was back when I was a kid, you know.
Oh, okay.
You'd be like, my dad could beat up your dad. I mean, that was, that's what we argued about.
In all fairness, that's probably true. How tall are you?
6'5".
Yes, and my guess would be, I've never met your father. My guess is your father probably is bigger than my father.
Right, he's 6'3".
Yeah, my dad was like 6 feet, 6'1", and not a fighter at all.
Yeah, my dad's a minister.
Charlie Chan,
So,
I don't remember.
I don't think there's going to be any fights.
Remember.
So they're doing some. People are analyzing that hand, and they said since it was.
Poker Night in America, guys.
Anything.
We run the gamut here. Don't worry. The actual show will have far less nonsense.
Yes.
Chris Hanson's way more professional than we are.
And non-offensive.
And not offensive.
He is the most non-offensive person I've ever met. And I'm not kidding. He is.
Right.
In a good way.
That's fine.
You know when I think of Chris Hanson, I think vanilla ice cream with sprinkles.
That was
A little sprinkled tramp stamp in there.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say chocolate sprinkles, but now that I know the tramp stamp's there, fairly certain it's rainbow.
Johnny Chan, Rounders.
Oh, Harman's got a hand to play. That's good. And she just.
What do you think about Harman getting the Hall of Fame? Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's really great. She's got quite the illustrious career. She's playing for a living to this day. That's what she's doing.
I have respect for, I respect a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, but in terms of poker players, standing the test of time, to me, is just, it's so hard. There are so many players that come and go. There are so many players that have made millions and then kind of fade away or go broke or whatever it is. Doing it for decades is just such a testament to your ability to be able to adapt. I mean, I look at her, I look at Eric Seidel, and there are so many others like that. But a lot of respect for players like that. Pair sixes right now is the best hand. That's David Baker's hand. He's going to bet. Those black chips, $100 each. According to Dalib guy says, my dog and my dad are interchangeable. Fair enough. I like that.
Well, at least he didn't say his mom and his dog were interchangeable.
Good point. I like that. Jennifer Tilley.
Things over, like the tournament.
How are you, Jennifer?
A couple days of filming here, and then the tournament. I should be. I'm in the tournament right now, but I just haven't gotten my start yet. Okay. I'm trying to get unstuck, which now I can't do. I'm stuck like 10.
You'll get it back. Hey, do you want to?
Good.
Talk about poker. Talk about just don't.
Okay, I will. All right.
Hi. So I have the. This is for the second time in my career.
Well, yes.
I have Jennifer Tilley next to me.
When was I next to you before? Were we playing poker?
No, I played poker before, but actually I did live at the bike commentary with you.
Oh, right. Was that the tournament that I won? The Harman?
You win so many. How can
I think it might have been the one that I won, because remember I was running in and out of the booth. Oh, no, I wasn't. I was winning. I was too busy winning. So I might have done live at the bike some other time. I don't think I ever did. It might have been the one I won. Remember,
maybe.
Phil and
but you
I
also
were
did. I think you did World Series commentary with me once as well.
Oh, yeah, I could have.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Nonetheless, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
How does the table feel? How's the
Well, you know what?
dynamic?
It's super, super stressful playing with Phil, because Phil gets upset when I lose, and I get upset when he loses, and we were both losing. So
we were actually talking about Todd and I were actually mentioning that
Right.
Phil. It seems like Phil is a different player with you at the table than when you're not at the table.
And I'm a different table player at the table also. Well, I felt guilty because I felt like maybe that Queen's hand, the hand with the Queens, like I felt like it was some sort of boomerang reaction, because I raised. Wait, I forget what happened. Oh, the kid.
You want me to tell you?
The kid flatted, I flatted, and then Phil flatted. Pre-flop. And then post-flop, I honestly thought I had the best hand because I had, top pair. And then Phil checked, and then the kid bet, and then I raised.
Right.
I don't know. I just felt some sort of mousetrap thing. Like if I hadn't been in the hand, it wouldn't have gone down the way it did. But I feel like Phil's play there was incomprehensible. Like I look down at a pair of queens in the big blind with two people in the hand. I'm going to try to raise one of them out of it. But Phil is super tricky that way. Like he would have gotten my money, but the kid probably wouldn't have folded on the flop. I mean, not much he could have done. I mean,
Phil's going to lose money on that hand no matter what. He got really unlucky. I mean, if a diamond comes off, he probably doesn't lose anything.
I think he thought I had top pair, because Phil can read me pretty well. He thought I had something dumb. And then I think he figured the kid was on a flush draw. Like I put the kid on a flush draw too. But when that king hit, I felt like, I bet that king hit somebody. And then Phil went all in, and I was hoping it was Phil.
How do you feel about your game?
Well, my game, I'm a little subpar today, and I think that it's a little bit of a damper having the person that taught me how to play poker sitting at the table. And so I think after lunch, things will speed up a little bit. I think I've played good, and I've played not so good, and then I kind of went card dead for a while.
Right.
But, there's no such thing as card dead if you're a poker player, because you can, play pretty much anything, I guess.
How long have you and Phil been together?
I'm sort of humbled that I have Eldridge to my left, too, because every time I come into the pot,
he's raising, he's three-betting you.
Yeah.
He's been very aggressive pre-flop. Your seat selection is not great.
Yeah, I think I have the worst seat. But
how long have you and Phil been together?
We've been together about 10 years. Going on 11 years, yeah.
What would, this is going to be a tough question for you to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Could you tell me one or two of the most important things that Phil taught you about poker that you have been able to kind of use?
I don't really use a lot of the stuff that Phil taught me about poker, because he tells me a lot of things, and he'll keep telling me, but he'll sort of drop it casually into conversation. Like, we'll be out at McDonald's, and he'll say, position is really important. He tries to slide it in, because now I'm at the point where I get really loud and I know how to play poker. Don't tell me, I think the thing that Phil taught me that's good, he says, you can always bet your hand, because people never believe you have a hand. And then the other thing he says, which is diametrically opposed, it's always good to just check call. You get more money in the pot because the other guy will bluff at it. So he gave me two pieces of advice that are both very good, but they're total opposites. So
I've known Phil for a while. I've been watching Phil play at poker for a long time. I've had him in the commentary booth
Right.
numerous times. And he is one of those guys. He would be, to me, the most interesting coach I've ever had in my life, and probably one of the most difficult coaches I've ever had in my life, simply because he's so quirky.
I'm just looking at this hand here.
Please do.
Where I had the 5.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Oh my God, I would have been in so much trouble if I hadn't folded because he would have had a full house on the turn. I thought I would have won on the turn because the 5 comes on the turn.
Yeah, this would have been a really bad spot for you.
Wow, that was a bad spot for me.
Very lucky you folded, because if you catch a 5, you're doubling them up.
Yeah, of course. Well, no, Phil rabbit hunted. A 5 came on the turn.
Or the aces.
Oh, it did. Okay, it came out.
Yeah.
Well, I can't tell if I'm not.
But see, I'm really good because I said nobody's connected with that flop. I was like, I don't think anyone has an ace, and I was totally right. But I did not put these people on pocket pair. But I'm very good at knowing when nobody connected with the flop. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I'm the worst commentator ever. David Baker connected with the flop.
Well, you knew he didn't have an ace.
I knew he didn't have an ace.
You knew that son of a bitch did not have an ace.
I
Okay,
knew
and you
he
know
did
what?
not,
He
right.
doesn't have an ace.
Right.
So you're right there.
Well, okay, yeah. Wow, I dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. So you got the bet, the call, the raise.
Yeah, if he had just flatted, then it would have been really. But he's playing all very erratic, which I guess poker pros would say brilliantly.
Well, I mean,
because sometimes he has it, and sometimes he's just bluffing. So it's very hard to put him on a hand.
It's a pretty wet board, and if one of you, it turns out neither of you had an ace.
Yeah.
If one of you have an ace, he's probably getting some action from you. So
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
you got a little unlucky there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying, so Phil's kind of this, he's such a quirky guy.
Yeah.
And he has like his unique way of looking at life and poker and people.
Right.
That I don't know if, it's like, it's not just a mathematical thing. And he said, he goes, when it comes to like the math side of it, I don't care about that. He's like, he's more of a people person.
Right, yeah.
So I wonder if is it impossible to actually learn from him in that regard?
Well, yes, it is, because I would say it is, because everybody has their game, and Phil's, his mind goes down all these little rabbit holes and wormholes and vortexes. It's like a booby trap when you're having a conversation with him, trying to understand what he's talking about. But Phil is actually incredibly brilliant. And he cannot, I don't know why I said is actually, because that's sort of like it's
suggesting that I didn't think though.
No, but Phil is really brilliant, and I think a lot of the stuff he does, like where he wears the goggles, or he's shadow boxing, or the way that he talks and everything, it's sort of subterfuge. It sort of throws people off how smart his game is, and I think a lot of people don't realize what a great player Phil is. And sometimes he'll do things like he'll do things that don't seem to make sense, but he's one of those I'll lose the battle and win the game kind of people. So he'll lose a hand in it seems like not a very brilliant way, but then that creates an impression of him as somebody that's not totally on top of it, and then he ends up winning. Like I think in high stakes poker they just did some research, and he was the most winning poker player in that game at one point. It's high stakes poker or Poker Stars, the big game, one of those. But anyway, when I'm watching the live feed, I hate when somebody comes in and talks all about themselves, and then you stop calling the game. So I'm going to run away.
You're not. I mean, we're on for like 24 hours over 3 days.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to have you in here for like 6 minutes.
Right.
So it's not the worst thing. Please, we've been watching you, and we're still watching you.
Right. Yeah.
It
was really good to see that particular hand. I think you called me over here for a reason.
Made you feel better.
It made me feel better. Yeah.
That's good. Hey, we have a poll going on, by the way. What your best movie?
My best movie?
Yeah. What, in your opinion, what was the best movie you've ever been in?
Can I say 2 movies?
Of course you can.
I think the 2 best movies, my 2 best performances was Bullets Over Broadway, the Woody Allen movie, that I was Oscar nominated for, and then Bound, which is the Wachowski brothers movie where I played a lesbian that was trying to rip off
That was
the
my
ball.
favorite movie.
Yeah, a lot of people, that's a real cult film.
Yeah.
But I'd say those are my 2 favorite, and I like them because, one of them was, they're both mob girls, but one of them was like a big loud mouth that wasn't very bright, and the other one was really bright and really didn't have, was very sort of submerged and very manipulative. So it was fun to play those 2 different parts.
Do you think your acting career and your ability to act has helped your poker game?
Well, the thing is, they say that acting is reacting, and when you're really in the zone in acting, sometimes you'll have a reaction that you weren't even planning ahead of time. Like somebody says, I love you, and, you get really angry at them, but you didn't plan it, but it's because the way the actor is saying it, it's not sincere, and so it sort of is digging at you. And that's the way, like in poker, a lot of times somebody will be behaving as if they have the full house, but to you as a reactor, something rings false, and so you can make a very thin call and make money that way. And then also, too, a lot of times, like if I'm bluffing, I can just pretend to myself that I have aces or I have the hand that I'm representing. And in acting, a lot of times, like, you can get hysterical and sob real tears because in the movie, your lover is dead, and in reality, he's not at all, and he's not even a real person. But you can make yourself believe that things are happening. And so in poker, sometimes if I'm really in the zone, I can make myself believe things are happening, and then people respond to you as though you actually have the hand.
You guys can't see this, by the way. It looks like Jennifer Tilly is about to cry in the commentary booth.
The other thing about acting, though, what actors have to train themselves off of, is that actors are trained to have every little expression flicker over their face. Like, let's say you're pretending you like somebody in a movie, but you really despise them. So before you put on your I really like you face, there's just a little flicker of loathing that goes across. And I had to train myself to get all those sort of unconscious feelings not showing up in my face when I'm on TV or when I'm in a poker game. You have to train yourself to become more immobile.
I like that. Jennifer Tilly, guys, we are going to go on a quick 30-minute break.
Excellent.
So the players can eat.
And that means I'm actually in the real world. I'm actually going back to the tables because that means our 30-minute dinner is over.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much. Nice to talk to you again.
Another highlight for my career, guys. There have been many, and having Jennifer Tilly in the commentary booth and alongside me, always one of them. As I mentioned, players going on a quick 30-minute break. I think Phil Laak is calling it a day. So the 6 out of the 7 players will return, and I believe our satellite winner will be joining us. Find out who he is in 30 minutes. We're back in 30 minutes. Maybe I won't offend anybody when we come back. And maybe I will. Who knows? Back in 30, guys.